Today, I, Nur Fadli Sakina binti Masaad, together with my group members, Julia, Nur Nabilah Shazwani, Muhammad Shafiq Shazwan, and Eji will present about the Aeon Credit Service Company. Every organization must have their own mission and vision. So for Aeon Credit Service, their mission is to provide a wide range of consumer financial service that best meet customers' need, and they are committed to serve customers to enhance customer lifestyle through their products and services. They also have a vision. To establish Aeon as a leading brand in consumer finance and service industry by providing excellent customer service to their customers. With the mission and vision stated now, Aeon has came up with their own basic principle, which can be seen here in the diagram. It has three basic principles, which is peace, people, and community. Principles help organization to focus more on their targeted goals, which is uh, to help their customers first. This is the organization type. This is the organization type that is in the company. It started with the shareholders, and then move on to the board of director, and the board of director has interlinked with the company secretary, and then under the board of directors, it has four departments, which is the audit committee, risk management committee, corporate government and compliance committee, and internal audit department. Under the board of director, it has the managing director. So under the managing director, 14 departments that helps the organization to do their operation. Next is moving on to the communication flow. This is based on the interview that have been done. It can be found that there are two types of communication flow, which is firstly the downward communication flow, and the second one is horizontal communication flow. The downward communication flow involves the top management level with the lower management level, which the top management level will give instruction to will give the message for the lower management level to follow. The top management level usually will pass the message to the middle management level, and then they will pass to the staff and the employees in the company. And next is horizontal communication flow. Example given here, such as middle management to middle management level, which they communicate among different departments, which is they are in the same level, but they communicate to perform their tasks in order for them to reach their goals, the company goals. Next is regarding the question written printed instrument of communication. It has been found that we found that one of the email that been received by the employees from the top level, from the top management level. It is regarding the guidelines for the employee to follow during the MCO period. Because the employee needs to go to the office and work, so they need to know the guideline and the rules and regulation for them to follow during their work period. So it has been sent through email using the organization system, which can only be accessed at their office, and the instruction given is well understood and the language being used is clear. Next is formal communication involves. So formal communication involves, yes, it does involve between the top management level and also the lower management level. It is to inform any issues that arise and notice regarding the operation of the organization. Also, regarding the appointment letter, maybe the top management would like to give appointment letter to the lower management level, and the lower management level as well can do their complaint using the complaint letter. They need to use formal communication in when they write the letter to the top management level, as well as can be seen from the previous slide. The guideline rules and regulation that provided from the top level management level uses the formal language and formal communication. Now I would like to pass to my next group mate.
Okay, I will talk about I mean, I have one, two, three, around five question, but the my question are more. I have three question which are mostly the same question coming back in a different way of asking the question. So I will go first for the first one. We will talk. I have to talk about the term making an analysis in the term of school management or theoretical. So the school management and theoretical, the manager have been the key factor basically of the success of the company. And as we know, the Aeon credit card service is not out of the world, meaning that they are part of the all in the all the big industry. So they have to follow the same trend with most of the management. So most of the manager, so the management theory has been developed and used since management become a standard part of the business practice. We can see that the theory remain relevant. New theory continue to be developed following the current business. The workplace has changed drastically since the conception of the first management theory. The modern management has not universal practice. Therefore, there is a useful gain and understanding of management theory and their application. So here we have to talk. Uh, we have to do a small analysis about the management theory, the school one and the theoretic one. So we can see that in this concept we have three main classic management theory. We have the classical management theory, the behavioral management theory, and the modern management theory. These three applications represent a different era of the evolution of the management theory. So in this application, we can see that the the classic management theory center around execution and maximization of maximizing production. So this is a one we have before. It's a classic, meaning that most of the company are using it. We have the behavioral management theory. We focus on increase of human element and view of workplace and as associate. The modern management theory will build the previous two theory while incorporating the modern scientific theory and system thinking. As we know, Aeon is part of the modern one because Aeon Big will apply the classical and the behavioral management theory because they will be centered around the executive maximizing production. As a Japanese company, they will always go for maximizing whatever they are doing. They will make sure that things are done in the right way to have a minor involving of people and the major production in terms of staff or money. So they will use it, and they will use also the increase the human element to review the workplace as a social environment. And Aeon will not go out of it. Aeon will be part of it because Aeon credit card service also will make sure that the environment whereby uh, the they are bringing in their employee will be the best one for them. It will make sure that the environment is good for them, but also for the whether the lower staff management or the middle staff management or the top management. As we saw also during the interview, I mean, as we listened during the interview made by Shafiq, the member of I mean the we heard that when the for example for the sharing of the information, as we will see in the next part of this question, because we the sharing information also in the organization is very important in the flow. So as we saw during, I mean, as we listened during the interview, we can find out that the the Aeon company communication will be top to down. Top to down means says and the top to down communication model are used by manager to communicate with their employee, the top management communication, or we can call it also the vertical communication is used by Aeon Big Credit. During the interview, we can see and understand that the headquarter in Japan, for example, will send the information or will share the new policy to to the head to disseminate this new policy to the top management level in the regional center. From the regional center, we go to each center in each countries, and then from this center, this information will go to the lower management. From this lower management, they will disseminate the same information to the staff working into the company. And this communication is used by leader or group leader to provide, as I just say, the goal, the provide the work instrument, the information to employee of the policy and the procedure or the report as well. So then you will have also the down to top information. As I was saying, we have information going to top to down, but we have also information going down to top. And as a modern company, Aeon also will use this kind of communication. The they will say we call it the horizontal communication flow. Is a flow sending communication and receive message that occur between management and subordinate. That how the management and the subordinate can communicate. The result of several studies shows that about two-thirds of the existing organization communication is that way. The horizontal communication is known as transversal communication. Is the most powerful flow and understanding in communication. This communication focus on coordinating activity, problem solving, information sharing, conflict resolution. So to 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 sum it is just that whether you are a junior or a senior person in the company, you want to hear about the policy or you want to communicate or you want to know about any policy, the information will come from top to down. And then if you want to ask back, as I just say that Aeon is a modern company, if you this staff want to ask back to the management what they have to do or how the policy is being implemented, they will just use the horizontal way to communicate that Aeon Credit Service will allow their worker to do. As during the interview we hear it, they have a lot of way or they have a few ways to help the staff to feeding or to get the right information at the right place. So that why whether you are junior or senior staff, is quite been easier for you to communicate with your top management. And I think that's all for my part. Thank you.
For the next one, I will be explaining about how the employees communicate with person above their immediate supervisor. Okay, the employees usually have discussion with their supervisor and manager in order to communicate with each other. During the discussion, they will discuss in a group to communicate with each other. During the discussion, uh, they will discuss about what is their goals, what is their target, and what is their plan for the week. Okay, this can be related to the Henry Fayol theory component, which is element of management. The element of management deal with that managers should do. The manager have goals for each of the employees, and the team manager should know on how to deal or monitor the employee performance. Manager also should be able to identify whether the employee achieved the goals or not. Manager should play an important role to increase the company performance. It will also increase the employee productivity, and when the employee is able to achieve the company goals, they will become more motivated on the next step. And then next, communication is also important in the organization to avoid from having a miscommunication. When miscommunication occurs, it can lead to the bad performance, and they will receive wrong information. There are three types of communication that often flow in organizational setting, which is task-related communication, innovative-related communication, and maintenance-related communication. Task-related communication is communication that focus on activities that related to the task accomplishment. Innovator-related communication is communication about new ideas, and maintenance-related communication is a communication on social topics that maintains the human relation. In this organization, it can be seen that they focus more on task-related communication. Okay, next is how the employees, how the decisions are made in the organization, and how conflict is resolved. Okay, um, the company, when the company wants to make the decision, the company will proceed with the top management to make the decision. The company need to know their employees' feedback in order to strengthen their decision-making process. For example, during the MCO, movement control order, staff needs to work according to the office rotation schedule. The company will ask their staff to decide on what they want to go to the office and in a week how many days they want to work. Company can compromise with the employees on what day they want to work from home and what day and they want to work from the office. Sometimes participation for the employee from the employee also very important because at least the company will know what the employee want, and it also can increase the employee satisfaction. The conflict that they have faced in their organization is because of miscommunication with the other department. The company handled the conflict by texting the supervisor and ask the supervisor to speak with the workers. Usually, the company will send an email or having open discussion with the employees if this problem occurs. This is considered as intergroup conflict because the conflict occurs within the organization. Okay, the next one is uh, the organization physical environment and its effect upon the process of communication. Okay, the physical environment of the organization is more to the open space. There is no divider between the employees and the other employees and also their boss. The employee and their boss can see each other in the office. Open space office also have their advantages, which is company can save their money because they do not have to put the cubicle between one employee to the other employee. It also can make the employee become closer, feel closer to the other employee, and they can interact more with the other employee. The office culture also will become transparent because everyone can hear everything in an open office and there is less space for secretiveness. When the employees were seated next to the managers, it can bring sense of equity and unity between employee and manager. This can create more comfort and trust between employees and manager as they appear to be at the same level in an office. Open space office environment affects the process of communication because the employees do not have to see whether their boss entered the office or not because they can see clearly whether their boss are in office or not. And then it will make easier for the employees to interact with each other and process of communication become better. If the boss is not around, the employee can drop an email, Google Meet, and video call to contact the boss. Okay, the next one is what do we learn about the organization by applying the organizational concept? Okay, uh, the what do we learn about the is that how the organization uh, handles the conflict. In organization, they handle conflict by contacting the supervisors directly to solve the conflict as soon as possible. Conflict is a big issue when it is not being handled carefully. When the employees have negative emotion, it can lead for the employee to have a bad performance. Employees cannot work effectively when they are upset or angry. It will not give impact to the employees only, but it also will give impact to the entire workplace. Conflict also can cause the employee to be unproductive and high time consuming when it is not being managed carefully. Okay, and then what do we learn about the concept by applying to the organization? We learn the process of decision making. It is important to brainstorming before making a decision because it will be large ideas when we brainstorm with the managers and employees. We can choose when we do brainstorming, we can choose the best ideas for the decision making. If only one people make the decision, the ideas will be limited. If managers have a very good decision making skills, it means that they are able to make a quick and good decision. It also could save the manager time and it can prevent conflict and it also can increase the company productivity. Decision making is very important in an organization in order to achieve the organization objective within the given time. The ability to make good decisions is mean the manager have a successful managerial performance. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, I would like to continue on the organizational communication system. Okay, the strength of the organization is showing strong communication ability is about being able to relay information such as straightforward and ambiguous manners to others. It includes the delivery in a manner that communicates with the public of message, supply and succinct. From the study, it identified that this organization and manager usually have a discussion to communicate to each other or having a short briefing to communicate the goal, what is the target of the plan in the week. Other than that, the company is actually trying on to less supervision, which the management love very minimum advice, which they can make their own decision as long as the employee comply existing company policies, and for certain decision they require the supervisor to make decision. At the same time, they also have a daily briefing before started to work to inform the issue on the past day status or the goal of the day. And then next is the strength of the company is also that they ensure there won't be a miscommunication between means of worker. the performance itself less monitoring so that the target organization can be achieved. Um, the communication flow is there have any information that need to distribute. It started from the general to all the policy, distribute to the council director, and then to the office, and then after that determine it to the branch manager or direct determine it by the staff head level and executive from top to down. But usually a company will inform the policy to subordinate intermediate to be told and distribute via email, briefing, or training as well. The shortcoming in the organization, firstly, from the study, the issue has been identified is the conflict among the client. There was some miscommunication in the organization with the client, usually regarding the account balance, and from the policy changes from the company towards customer relation management. Translator believe that they might have some miscommunication in terms of emotion and the message that actually need to be passed to the customer and the way they perceive is actually differently. Improving communication in the organization. Firstly, the organization can conduct open dialogue between the top management to the employee frequently in order to ensure all the message or new direction created by the top management was successfully delivered to the employees. Secondly, the open dialogue also can be arranged between division to division, department to department, or unit to unit to exchange the idea, information, or any problem that has been arise and find the best solution regarding it. So, strong connection need to create not just between the organization with the worker, but in a small scale, such as between employees and their manager. Manager need to put some effort to really know personally their employees and willing to listen to them. Lastly, job training to the employer, especially in communication skill, also one of the way to improve communication in the organization. Okay, I would like to pass to Shafiq.
So today I will continue the presentation. My slide is the way to obtain the information. So in our project, we conduct three of the way we collect the data. The first one is interview. The second one is observation, and the last one is theory review. In the interview, it was conducted by interview the head SME business finance at Aeon Credit Service, Malaysia Berhad. This interview was conducted by call on 13 January 2021. In this interview has been informal. We ask the certain idea and the way he conduct and communicate with the staff during the working time. And from the interview, we can conclude the flow of communication actually is being two-way communication between management and the staff also can raise their idea and raise up their voice to the management uh, what happened during the working time at the certain in their department. The second one is observation. During the observation is gathering observation, we gather the data by both observation, the physical environment and the behavior of people in the organization. Actually, this observation uh, we get from one of our team. So from his observation, we can see the physical environment between supervisor and the subordinate on that organization, and we also can make the analysis, the behavior between the supervisor and the subordinate also. Okay, from the observation, we can know more deep and know more better the background of the organization. Okay, the last one is the theory review. During conducted the this project, we using the theory review to reveal the importance of information, especially before the interview. So during the theory review, we use a certain of the theories. For example, the machine metaphor. The machine metaphor is we see from the collection department, they do the same thing every day, make a call and collect the payment from the customer. So we use this kind of theory to see the way the communication of the staff and the juga and customer and their supervisor also. Okay, for the in our this project we follow also the ethical procedure. We use a 5 ethical procedure. The first one is minimizing the risk of harm, obtaining informed consents, protecting anonymity and confidentiality, avoiding deceptive practice, providing the right to withdraw. Okay, for the minimizing the risk of harm, our team will inform the participant, especially during the should not harm the participant, especially during the asking the question. So we need to explain the detail of our research to our participant also. We need to follow and explain what the main the, the structure of our question and explain whether the participant what should participant do and not do. The second one is obtain informed consents. That means the participant should understand they are taking part in this research and the purpose of the research. The third one is protecting anonymity and confidentiality. Our team also need to agree to hold some of the private information with confidence. That means the background of, so for example, that the background of participant. The ethical number 4 is avoiding deceptive practice. Our team need to avoid the deceptive practice, especially related with the data and information. Not only that, our team should inform participants the purpose of the research, same like concern practice. The participant have right to withdraw all the data have been given if the participant feel insecure or not. So the last one is providing the right to withdraw. Let's say the participant end of the interview, the participant is not agree to share his data or the information, so he have right to withdraw all the information. So the last one is 5 lessons from this project. So the first one is increase the productivity. When the communication between the subordinate and the supervisor is doing well and good, it can create the feeling of the welcome to the subordinate in the organization. So they will give 100% commitment to increase their productivity in that organization. The second one is to ensure the same message reach to everyone. Supervisor need to make sure all staff receive the same information to avoid conflict in the organization. That means what the supervisor of top management give to this to supervisor. So this supervisor need to know how to tackle the message, match to ensure the message is received to the subordinate is 100% without conflict. The third one is good communication skill, improve work relation. If the supervisor can tackle the staff, it can avoid the conflict in organization. From there, it can build a good work relationship between supervisor and the subordinate. The lesson number 4 is better conflict resolution. Miscommunication can start between supervisor and subordinate when the information being misinterpreted. But when the top management see the conflict as a good opportunity, it's a good thing to the organization. For example, collection team in Aeon Credit Service need to investigate and review the communication between the marketing team and the customer. From the analysis, supervisor can propose to the marketing team to improve their selling skill and product knowledge. For the last one is great workplace environment. So when supervisor and subordinate create the good communication, so it can come to the great workplace environment, because when the staff or subordinate not miscommunication between supervisor and subordinate, it can bring to the uh, organization without conflict. Okay, that's all. Thank you from me.